my name's Elizabeth Busan. I'm a part of the Cardinal group for this course. I just wanted to preference and say I've really enjoyed working with you guys so far and discussing on all the discussion posts we've had. It's actually been really entertaining and almost fun for me. I hope you enjoy my short little presentation. So I don't know if you could tell by the pictures I have up here, but I am from Illinois. That's where I'm living this summer, so I chose to do my location basically based off of Midwest states and Illinois specifically. And then my culture topic was Judaism. I grew up in a really diverse suburb of Chicago, so I've been around many different cultures, ethnicities, races, backgrounds. So this was actually really fun for me. But overall, from the research I found, interviews I held, and blog posts I've read, the quality of life for Jewish individuals living in Midwestern states is positive overall, and they feel inclusive in the community and respected. Most of my attention, I focused most of my attention on Reform Judaism versus Orthodox Judaism or constructive. And then specifically, I focus my research on exploring expectations of the culture, so what they believe is right and wrong, familial roles they have in their house, and then the dynamic, and then overall like general feelings they have about being Jewish in the community. So some history and the current status. So in 1654, Sephardic Jews were the first Jewish settlers in the U.S. Sephardic Jews are Jewish ancestry from Portugal and Spain. Currently, though, the Jewish population in the U.S. is made up of Ashkenazi, which is ancestry derived from Germany and Eastern Europe. A little bit about the population. So since 1654 until now, the population of Judaism has continued to rise exponentially in the U.S., which I think goes to show that, the U.S. has such great diversity and it's a place for people to come and live through their own values, around people that are different from them. I think that says a lot. The U.S. population of the Jewish population in the U.S. is actually greater than the population in Israel, which is where the religion is derived from, like the birthplace of the religion, which I think is really crazy to think that we have more Jewish people living here than their own birthplace. In 1830, that was the first Jewish settlers to settle in Chicago, Illinois, and today Chicago is the third largest city of Jewish population in the country with 294,000 people, Jewish people. And then in the Midwest as a whole, there's 600,000, so basically half of those people are living in the suburbs, towards the city of Chicago. So when I explored the uniqueness and the characteristics of their culture, I used a lot of information from the interviews I held and then blog posts and articles I read online. I met with I had one FaceTime interaction with a woman and then another face-to-face brief little conversation with another lady that was in the Jewish community. Overall, they both shared that they felt inclusive in the community and respected and, felt they were living their life happily. The first lady I interviewed shared high holidays they celebrated in their family. Hanukkah, which is around our Christmas time, if you celebrate Christmas, lighting of the menorah, 7 candles for each night. Rosh Hashanah is their New Year. It's like a time of celebration, quiet meditation they do, and prayer. I'm trying to think of the other ones. Oh, Shabbat is another one that they celebrated, um, along with Yom Kippur and Sukkot. Sukkot? I think I'm saying that right. As far as familial roles, she expressed to me that her family didn't have specific roles that they followed, um, just traditional roles, I guess, she said. They did have expectations for, I know she said that her mom and her grandparents had expectations for, like, the children, which I think is normal for most families. But for her family specifically, you know, her parents expected them to do well in school and be involved in the community, which was big for them, in which she did that. I actually attended her bat mitzvah in, I think, 6th grade. It's like a celebration of them adulting in the Jewish community and just moving forward in the religion. There are traditions that I know, or she told me that they followed, or she said they love, like, you know, eating Jewish food, so that was like something that they always shared together in her family. She also expressed to me that her family was really close, and her family is spread out in the country, so she has family living here and there, and they're always, you know, when they're together, they're super close, like they've seen each other their whole lives. She thought that was really special about her family. Their language is Hebrew, and their book of prayer, their book of religion is the Torah. And they actually, when you read the Torah, they don't read left to right like we do, but they read right. Yeah, they read right to left, which is super different. When they communicate, respect is a big thing. Making eye contact, being articulate, you know, having manners is a huge thing. So when I was researching and talking about to these people in the community, I really was curious about, like, challenges, the barriers they faced being an active member in the Jewish community. And fortunately, I think a lot of them said that they did not face a lot of discrimination or prejudice against them because they were Jewish. Jordan, the lady I interviewed, expressed to me that she had friends, one friend when they were younger, get pennies thrown at her because of the stereotypical saying that Jewish people are poor, cheap, and which is not true, but, you know, there are things here and there that are stereotypically put on Jewish people that I think people like to use as, like, humor, but overall, I don't find that many of the people living in Jewish people living in the Midwest felt, and diversity is a privilege for us to experience. And for me personally, I have been around such diverse groups of people, and I feel like I've gained so much just insight and knowledge from that. I think we don't take advantage of that enough, so I think this is definitely a positive culture in society in America, for America. I don't see why anybody would really think differently. I think that they aren't a harmful or have, you know, too negative assumptions put on their religion. When eliminating barriers, I think we just need to remind yourself especially, to be open-minded when you're talking to people, especially people you don't know. Like, you have no idea, you can't, just because of the color of their skin or the way that they, you know, wear their makeup or have their hair or the way that they dress, you know, you never really know, and you don't really know what people are dealing with either. So I think going into any situation with an open mind and, you know, telling yourself that, yes, I want to learn more, and yes, I'm open to this, and yes, I'm willing to accept you for who you are, and regardless of, you know, where you come from, I think that people need to just really, you know, hold themselves accountable to think about that when they're interacting with people. We talked a lot about cultural competence and communication competence and being able to talk to people, and I think overall it's like about respect and, you know, how well can you make somebody feel equal and not singled out and not judged. um, yeah, I think that's what we can all, you know, try to do. It's first step to eliminate those barriers and to eliminate that gap of I'm me and you're you and not we're together. But yeah. So I just want to say thank you for listening to this presentation. I have a little synopsis I'm going to read. As a booming and influential generation, it is our duty to bring awareness and appreciation to all groups that make up our country. We cannot be afraid to open our eyes to different ways of living. Diversity is an amazing part of this country. It is something we should cherish and feel exceptionally grateful to have. I've really enjoyed this course. Working through these topics and discussing ideas has been a really great pleasure for me. Good luck next semester. Thank you.